Good morning, friends. I hope you're doing well today. This is Miss Mithral coming back to spend a little bit of time with you. Today we're going to talk about kites. That's right, kites. As you may know, we have been talking about different things that we have that fly in the air. Things that have wings, sometimes have tails, and sometimes have wings made out of different types of things, whether it be feathers, like what a bird has, or that an airplane has, those big metal long wings. You remember how yesterday we constructed our very own foam airplane? I was really looking forward to trying to fly it for you today, so that you could see a video of me throwing it and see how far it can go. But unfortunately, it was raining really bad all day yesterday, like as soon as I left the room. So I'm going to have to postpone that for now. But don't worry, I still have it on my mind. It's looking pretty good today, so I'll see if I can do that today, and then have that ready for you for the next time we come on the show. In the meantime, let's go ahead and check out our schedule. Alrighty. Well, before the schedule we usually have time for is time for time. That's right, it's time for time. We're getting ready for time. Alrighty, so it is right now 11:51. Oh, right. New place. I've already written down the 11 in red, which is our hour. What color is our minutes? Can you tell me? Blue. That's right. Alrighty. And here is, whoops. Oh, let me fix the minutes real quick. Boop. When it's 11:51, the hands are very close together. What number is the red hand on? Good job. The 11. Can you tell what number the blue hand is on? That's right. The 10. You can see right there, 10 represents 50 in minutes, and I have it just at the 1. Let's go over our 5 times table. Are you ready? Whoop. Whoop. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, and that's our 5 times table. All right. So it is currently 11:51 a.m. You can see it on our clock and in the digital format down there at the bottom. A standing for a.m. as if in the morning time. All right. And next up, I'm going to take a look at our schedule. We have the X ready for our story time. Made the squares a little bit bigger so it's easier to see these days. Now today's story is just going to be a revisit. I had something stuck on my foot. A revisit of our dragon stories. Do you remember a few weeks ago when we were talking about fairy tales? If you weren't there for that, be sure to take a look at our recap videos. I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago now, but it's not too long ago, where we were talking about different kinds of fairy tales. We went over stories like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Robin Hood, and it inspired a lot of great ideas for us that week, if you'll remember. But one of the most favorite things that Miss Mithral talked about was dragons. And I had a book called The Dragons Are Singing Tonight. I wasn't able to read the whole thing because this is no ordinary book. It is a collection of poems. So short words that mean something. They're meant to give you feelings in a very, very short amount of time. So sometimes we have those long stories that make us feel a certain way over a long period of time. Poems are very, very short. They're very quick to read. You're meant to read them and then feel what the words tell you to feel, or help you feel, I should say. And that's what we'll do today. All right, let's revisit The Dragons Are Out Singing Tonight. The Dragons Are Singing Tonight by Jack Perlutsky. Pictures by Peter Sis. I have a dozen dragons. I bought them at the mall. I keep them in my closet. It's fortunate they're small. Their horns are red and silver. Their scales are green and gold. All of them are beautiful. All of them are bold. They eat vanilla ice cream and pickles mixed with ink, then run around the kitchen and jump into the sink. They splash about the basin and flap their silvery wings while breathing tiny fires that never burn a thing. When we go out on the weekends and stroll around the block, the neighbors stare in wonder. They seem to be in shock. I may not have a puppy, a kitten, or a bird, but I'm the only one I know who has a dragon herd. If you look carefully here, we have a gorgeous border along the page. Kind of like on the show that you see now. My blue border. That makes a nice frame for what you're reading, or in this case, seeing. It's one of the things I like about this book. I am my master's dragon. I am my master's dragon, and my master treats me well. He calls me when he wants me, and I answer to his bell. He feeds me puffs of pastry to reward me for my deeds, and, according to my master, I have all a dragon needs. My master fails to notice, though I know that he is smart, the incalculable sadness deep within my dragon heart. But I am not complaining. I've no sorry tale to tell. I am my master's dragon, and my master treats me well. A Dragon's Lament. I am tired of being a dragon, ferocious and brimming with flame, the cause of unspeakable terror when anyone mentions my name. I'm bored with my bad reputation for being a miserable brute, and being routinely expected to brazenly pillage and loot. I wish that I weren't repulsive, despicable, ruthless, and fierce, with talons designed to dismember and fangs finely fashioned to pierce. I've lost my desire for doing the deeds any dragon should do. But since I can't alter my nature, I guess I'll just terrify you! So when we read the first story, or the poem, excuse me, about the little girl that was flying all those different kinds of dragons, how do you think that that little girl felt with those words? One thing that can help you understand, seeing how she feels by looking at her face in the picture. What do you think? How is she feeling? How does it make you feel? Does it make you want one of these dragons yourself? Does it make you feel happy, seeing how bright and wide open the sky is? Does it make you curious about how she got these dragons and why? Does it make you feel scared? Like perhaps this person is? Definitely something to think about. We'll reflect on the second poem that we read. This is the story, a very short story, of a very good dragon. Very good dragon. And he mentions how good he is because his master tells him so. But how does he feel about that? How does this dragon make you feel? Are you happy because this little boy has a dragon and he should be happy for that? Or let's take a look at the dragon's face. How do you think he feels looking at his face? Why do you think he feels that way? If he could change things, do you think he would? What makes you think that? And finally, our story we read about the dragon that wishes he wasn't a dragon. Oh, there it is. Oh, oh, oh. The dragon's lament. As you can see here, this is no ordinary dragon. What is he instead? Do you think he's really that other creature? Or is it just something that he wishes? Do you remember how he felt in this story? What was he trying to make you feel? And why? He feels that he is very scary. Do you think he's very scary? What about him scares you so? If you were this dragon, would you feel the same way? Or would you feel different? Oh yeah? What would make you feel that way? So you see what I mean by the poems being kind of like short stories? And if you really think of them, maybe even repeat them out loud to yourself over and over again, or even quietly in your head, then you can start to feel a certain way. These are a great way for people that love to write to express themselves, or to express how someone else feels. And remember, we started off the story with a whole bunch of dragons up in the air, held by the little girl. They were kites. Speaking of kites, that's what our next activity is about to be. So let's go ahead and switch it on over. We have finished with the story. I'm going to take that X, put it down with the fine time. Okay. Can you help me check off the story time? Ready? Get your check fingers ready. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and down, up. Check. Story time is done. Story time is done, done. We're ready to move on, fun, fun. Story time is done, done. Let's get on with the fun time. Hang on tight. We're going to have a short little intermission while Miss Mithil gets things set up. And then I will show you a way that you can make a craft, kite, and how to identify different parts of the kite. I'm really excited about this, and I hope you are too. See you in just a minute. Welcome back. As you can see here, we have ourselves a shape. It's a little lopsided, but what shape is this, do you think? Can you tell me? That's right, a diamond. I'm going to put it this way so you can see it a little bit better. And we are going to construct ourselves a diamond here. And it's going to turn into a kite. I'll show you how. How do you know that something is shaped like a diamond? You count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 4 sides like a square, but the way that it's shaped, kind of like if you were to fold it in half. And what shape do you have there? A triangle. Yep. You unfold that triangle, guess what? You have a diamond. I'm going to glue it onto the paper. Alright, there it is, nice and glued. And right here, what do you think this is? The string to the kite. Very good. This is going to be very simple. Grab me a little bit of tape. I'm actually going to tape that string down to the paper. Stick it under here. And tape. Just a little square will do. Look at that. I have myself a wibbly wobbly tail. It even goes off the paper. Okay, so there are several different parts of a kite. So for example, right here, the stringy part that we just went over is called, I'm pointing a little arrow at it. This is called the tail. T-A-I-L. The tail. You know what? I don't think that's very big. You can't see that very well, can you? I can fix that. Make bigger letters with a Sharpie. Remember, be very careful when you're using a Sharpie on a table. You don't want to end up making marks on the table because whatever the Sharpie marks, it stays there forever. There we go, much better. T-A-I-L, the tail. Okay, and then next up we're going to have to draw this part. There is the string that comes down the middle like this. See that line? That's called the bridle. Can you say bridle with me? The bridle. And next up, we have the spur. The spur is what goes across like this, from one side to the other. Spur. S-P-U-R. Spur. Spur. Okay, now, what do we call the entire diamond on the edges itself? We call it the frame. F-R-A-M-E. Frame. Next up, we have the spine. Alright, so this is very similar to the bridle that we just went over, but I'm going to indicate it by making big lines like this. Basically, the spine is what's on the back side of the kite, the side that we really can't see from here. And it's what helps keep the kite open. Kind of like your back spine helps you stand up. Well, the kite might not be standing up, that's just silly. But if it were, or when it needs support to stay open, it has this spine to help it stay afloat. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark that for you so you can see that better. So the spine is on the back side of the kite. Okay, is that all the pieces? Oh, one very important piece we almost forgot. We take this line right here, and it's the part that you hold, whoops, so that you can fly it. You fly it out with your friends. You can't fly a kite and expect it to come back without the flying line. Have you ever been fishing? You know the string that goes into the water? Why is that part of the fishing rod important? If you want the fish to come to you, you need a line. So that's the fishing line. And if you want your kite to come back and not get stuck somewhere or blow away, you have to have that flying line. So, we have our spur. Let me hold it still for you one more time. Holding up papers for the camera can be tricky sometimes. We have the spur, the bridle, the frame, the spine, the flying line, and the tail. And those are different parts of a kite. Hold tight just a second. I'm going to give you an even better example. I have a surprise for you. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Nice and firm. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, you can open your eyes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Ta-da! Miss Mithril has her own dragon kite. Look how long the wings are. It even takes up the entire camera. It's so wide. So as you can see here, it's actually got 2 tails on either side. Those are also tails to help it flap and fly in the breeze. And it's got its own tail right there that also counts as part of the tail. And let's take a look at the different parts of it so you can see better what I was talking about. It doesn't have a spur like a normal kite quite yet. At least I don't have it inserted. But if I did, it would go from here to here, where the black line is. That's where the spur would go. And the shape of the dragon itself, do you remember what that's called? The shape of the kite is diamond. The dragon is called the frame. See, we've gone over its tail, we've gone over the spur. What else are we missing? Right, the bridle. This white string you see right here is the bridle of this kite. That's what you tie the flying line onto so that it can be controlled in the air, you see? And speaking of flying line, mine is attached to, this is kind of neat, this part right here is actually the cover of the container it came in. But it has all this string wrapped around it. And let me unhook it carefully. So I take this little hook, you see, little orange hook, and I hook it onto the bridle when I'm ready to fly it. And it will look like this. Whee! I checked the weather today. After I put this together, I was really excited. I was like, I want to go fly it now. But the weather said it's not very windy. You have to wait until the wind comes. And what's one way that you can check the wind from inside? What do you think? Yes! Look at the trees. If you look at the trees and they're doing like this, whee, from side to side, then it is windy. So if it's just going a little bit like this, it's just a little bit of wind. But when good good kite flying weather, the trees look like this. Woo, like that. Yeah, and it goes back and forth and back and forth, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back. When did you get here? Somewhere around back. Welcome, Auntie. Yeah, thank you so much. I heard you guys were talking about kites today, and it actually reminded me of a joke. Oh, you have a kite joke? Yes. All right. So once upon a time, wait. Is this a story or is it a joke? It's a joke, but it starts out like a story. Oh. Once upon a time, there was a little boy, and he was flying a kite, and he let the kite string go, and whoosh, the kite started flying away. And the dad turns to the son and says, "Not all things are good going wireless, son." That was a bit of a dad joke, wasn't it? In more ways than one. Excellent. Well, thank you. I'm gonna go get my front seat. Man, that dragon was so cool. I love all the colors. Can I look real quick before I go? Can I look at the thread real quick? Yeah, absolutely. Whoa, look at that! It spins! Look at the way it spins around. It's unraveling on the floor. Yeah, we're gonna have quite a mess. We're gonna have to clean up in just a minute. Well, how do we get back up together? We'll just spin it the other way. Boy, look at that. Yeah, it's raveling back up, for sure. Good way to clean up. Whoa, that's a scary looking dragon. Rawr! I bet if I was a birdie in the sky, I wouldn't mess with that guy. It is quite fun to fly a kite, and it makes you feel better if you're not feeling good. Oh, so your problems literally get lifted away? Yes, indeed. Alright, cool. Well, I think it's time to move on. Yes, it is indeed. Alright, let's go. Let me go ahead. Okay. Alright, get your front row seat. Good. Alright, so we have finished up our fun time. I hope you really enjoyed that kite time, because I sure did. I loved sharing it with you. So we're going to take the X, move from the fun time, bring it down to word time. It's word time, because we're done with fun time. Can you help me check off fun time? Get out your checky fingers. 1, 2, 3, and check. Fun time is done. Okay, I've got a neat and extra little thing that I'm going to show you. You know how Janella has been bringing us the word of the day? I found my bird collar, and I'm wondering if I can use that to color. What's a bird collar, you ask? I got this not too long ago. And you blow into one side and have a little bit of water in it, not much, but a little bit of water in it, and it can make you sound like a bird. No joke. Listen. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bird collar. On the count of 3, we're going to say, "Oh, Janilla." Alright, can you help me call for Janilla? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Janilla. There she is. What's our word for today, Janilla? Thank you very much. Today's word is out. O-U-T, out. And one way that we can use that in a sentence. Oh, there it is. I can go out to fly my kite today. O-U-T, out. Alright, friends. We're going to check that off real quick because word time always flies. Put the X back where it belongs and check off one more time with me. Get those tricky fingers out. By the way, have you had any reasons to make any check marks to practice yourself? They're pretty neat to make. 1, 2, 3, down, up. Check. Word time is done. Alright, friends. I look forward to seeing you next time on our next show that is talking about things that fly. It will be our last episode of the week. But in the meantime, have fun, be safe, be happy, and be healthy. See you next time, friends!